All right. Welcome to both mics.
Hey guys, it's a show about nothing and everything. That's Mike Sofka.
And that is Mike Taylor. And together we are both mics.
Welcome to show number, 48?
Yep, 48.
Good. Show number 48 of Both Mics, heard everywhere podcasts can be heard. Check us out on YouTube. Like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. iHeartRadio. And live every Friday around 7-ish on twitch.tv/bothmics. So how's it going, sir? Good morning.
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Checking out the chat here on Twitch. Just said hello and just nobody there.
Well, we got to get some people in there.
All right, we'll work on that.
Maybe I'll get my intern to come on there. That'd be nice.
Anything exciting happening in the past week with you?
Yeah, actually there is. There's something I need to address. I need to clear the air on right away. Now, I am a timeless person. I mean, we rip off a gag off somebody that's 50 years old. The gag is 50 years old, and I've ripped it off, and everybody knows I ripped it off. And if you didn't, it's 50 friggin' years old. It doesn't matter.
Here's Johnny.
But
what happened?
If I do something on this show or related to this show, then you, Mr. Professional Broadcaster, who I used to look up to, are going to steal my shit and claim it as your own. I'm on the way up, my man. We may be close in age, but we ain't close in direction. I'm on my way up. You're obviously on your way down. And you know who I'm talking to. I'm talking right to you, big boy. I'm flattered. I really am. So thank you. You did well for me. This is only going to catapult me much higher. This is only going to make me work much more harder. Much more harder? Is that right?
Much more harder. Sure.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah. I detect a sense of sarcasm in your voice, Mike.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. People rip you off, and that happens. So you'll figure it out. I don't need to say any names. I don't need to, mention anybody, But I think I'm going to have a monster here in a minute. Hang on.
Monster? Yeah.
Anyway, so I like your shirt. I like your Buc-ee shirt.
Really?
Speaking of which.
I've never been there.
Yeah, neither have I, obviously, right?
Apparently. Yeah, this is the summertime in Florida version. And you walk in, and that display is right there in front of you. And they do every possible shirt they could think of. Valentine's Day, Irish Day, whatever, St. Patrick's Day, Easter.
Irish Day. Nice.
Irish Day, yeah. Davey. This is what came out just before Memorial Day for summer. And there's a Florida thing, logo, whatchamacallit, on the back. And I turn around and show you right now, but I'm kind of cramped up in the corner over here.
Maybe you need to show it to somebody because they don't know how to spell the word fucking Buc-ees. It's on the damn sign. It's on every piece of merchandise in the store. You can't spend 5 seconds and Google it and double check it and get a spell check on. You're not even spelling it.
It was on the bag of beef jerky. The jerk off was.
Yeah, you're not. It's not BUCKEE''S. Come on, get your shit together, or have your intern get their shit together. See, that wouldn't happen on my watch. That wouldn't happen here because I do that. You need to get back to doing that. You need to get back to doing you and not me.
Amen.
All right.
Amen. All right. So yeah. And actually, I went to Buc-ee's yesterday. Yeah. Occasionally, when I drop the boys off to preschool, I'll duck in there because I'm too lazy to make breakfast, and I'll get a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant, which is really like the size of a damn frisbee.
Yeah.
And for $3.48, you can't beat it.
No.
And I'll get like the super large big gulp type thing for 79 cents. So literally for like $5.40, you get like a gigantic meal, and you can barely finish it for breakfast. And the first thing I noticed when I walked in there is they have monitors now.
Ah, so you can see yourself walk in
with the split screen, and it shows four different cameras.
Maybe they're having some concerns about some missing things.
well, that's what I was thinking about. And I came home and spoke with the wife about it, and I'm like, I was in there, and there was probably 30, no less than 30, orange and bright yellow T-shirts and safety vests on in that place. I'm like, okay, they a lot of landscapers and road crew come in there, and do they have sticky fingers?
Right.
My wife automatically thought, well, it's literally 25 feet from I-95. Are people just taking what they want and boom, getting their car and they're on 95?
Well, yeah, it is a busy place, and that could happen. I mean, you just act as if, oh, yeah. Just...
Yeah. Matter of factly, and just walk out with whatever you have.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they beefed up security, or at least the semblance of security in the store, so that people are keeping to themselves and keeping honest people honest, I guess. So yeah, that's what's happening.
So I do have to interject here and tell you this story about how I learned that as if thing, that use what you have. My dad tells me two stories. One, he said and this was before 9/11 and way before any of this stuff. This is like the 80s, the early 80s, and my dad was in the running some pest control branches for some big name companies, and he had to see somebody in the hospital or something, but he wasn't family, so he just took a clipboard with him, and he didn't have a company shirt on or anything, but he walked up, and the first person he saw, he said, "Hey, I'm here to see so-and-so," and he had a clipboard and everything, and he was like, "Oh yeah, right this way," because the clipboard made you look official, made you look like you were doing some business there. And the second thing was, during that same time period, my sister and I worked at the Mouse House. We worked for the Mouse directly, okay? And this was probably 1984, 1983, 1984. And 4th of July, my sister and I each worked a day shift. And my mom and dad wanted to spend a day with us, but they said, well, we'll just come out to the park and then we'll watch the fireworks together. But we're not going to get there super early because we're going to stay late and yada, yada, yada. I was like, yeah, okay. Well, my mom and my brothers and little sister barely made it in. They closed the park off because too many people were there. They did that back in those days. I saw that coming,
yeah.
In the Magic Kingdom.
That and New Year's and Christmas and Thanksgiving, that park closes up once they get to 65,000 people.
Yeah, like noon or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever. They're just like, no more. So I don't know about any of this stuff. So it's like 4 or 5 or whatever, and I get off my shift, and Donna gets off her shift, and I go and I find my mom. And this is before you carried around cell phones. My dad had a cell phone that the company put in the car. You know what I mean? And it was mounted in a car. That was a big deal. So my mom calls my dad from a payphone at the Mouse House. He calls, and he says, yeah, I'm on my way right now. And so we're waiting in a certain area to park, knowing it's going to take him a minute to park and a minute to get over the water, no matter how he does, and then to get to the destination. Now it's going to be about an hour. So we, do our thing. We refocus in about an hour and to go to meet him. And here he comes. He's walking up. And my mom goes, wow, I'm glad you made it, because Michael and Donna were telling me sometimes they close the park off early because there's too many people here. And he said, well, yeah, that's what happened. And she goes, well, how did you get in? And he had the pest control car. And when he pulled up to the ticket to get your parking ticket, he told the guy that he was there because there's a rodent infestation. And the guy said, okay, let him right through. That's awesome. But what a line.
You could do that, as long as you dress well and carry a cell phone, you're like, and you just walk through the door, walk through the... I've walked backstage in concerts doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just act like you're supposed to be there, and you just keep walking.
All right, do you know who that guy is?
No, but, yeah. Is that the guy who, won so much money, or the top prize winner at Jeopardy?
No, he was the new host.
No?
You and I had some bad information last week about the host being Mayim Biakatube, whatever her name is. Biakabi. What's her name? Mayim?
Okay. Blossom.
Yeah, that chick. Apparently we had bad information. Apparently she was in the running, but she didn't. I don't know. This guy Mike Richards got the gig, okay? And after 9 days on a job, he resigned. Effective immediately. This is according to Yahoo Entertainment. Mike Richards has stepped down as host of Jeopardy a week after landing the job and just days after he apologized for offensive and sexist comments he made in a resurfaced podcast. So, Mike, I'm letting you know, neither you or I will be hosting Jeopardy anytime soon.
That's fine with me. That's fine with me. My mom actually tried out for Jeopardy once.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. She was at in Atlantic City, and they were there taping the show, and they were also auditioning people. And they start you off with back in probably the early '90s, they start you off with a piece of paper with 10 questions on it, and she went through and she answered all of them, and she didn't know for a fact one of the 10 questions, and she says, screw it, tore up the paper, walked away.
What?
Yeah, my mom, I don't know, was and possibly still is like an amazing pop culture historian, all that stuff. Dude,
wow.
She kills it. She kills it.
You got to take her to the bar with you on trivia night.
Yeah, definitely. But now at 76, 77, she'll be 77 next week.
Wow. Awesome.
78.
Wow. Good deal.
Yeah. She'd be 78 next week, next Saturday. Same birthday as my granddaughter. And she's going to be 13. Holy crap. Yeah. So 13.
Are we going to be calling you great grandpa pretty soon?
Better not. Yeah. But, if she's still living with her mother, it could be any day now that we get the news that I'm going to be a great grandfather.
Wow.
Yeah. The mother is, she collects children from every branch of the armed forces.
Does she have did she hit the trifecta? Does she have 3x3 daddies?
She has she does have the 3x3, but one is a Marine, my son is the Army, and then the other one is something else, probably, Coast Guard.
All right, so she's got Air Force to get yet. Aren't they based in Colorado? Is that where she's at?
No, she's actually, she can get an Air Force because she's in Vegas. And Nellis Air Force Base is there, so she might be working on that now as we speak.
I thought you were going to say because she's in the Air Force, she could work at the landing strip. Sorry, I don't mean to be.
She work as a landing strip.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. If you're just new and you're not following, go back on past shows. You can listen to the landing strip story, or you can just Google it. It's in the Palm Beach area, so. Just leave it at that.
West Palm Beach. Yeah. Right by the airport.
Yeah, right by the airport. How about that? There's a lot of classy places like that near the airport always. Isn't that coinky-dink?
Right. Yeah. Well, it's, I guess, cheap real estate there because no one wants to build a house there with the sound.
Right. You ever stay at a hotel near the airport?
Well, believe it or not, the past few places I've lived have been in the flight path, right by the airport.
Yeah.
When I first moved to San Antonio, I was staying in an apartment, and literally it was, I would say, as the bird flies 3,000 feet from the end of the runway, and every day, 6 a.m., a Federal Express airplane carrier would take off. And of course, cargo airplanes are traditionally 30, 40 years old. Well, this is like an MD-80. Engine on the tail fin. When was the last time you saw an engine on a tail fin on an airplane? Yeah, this thing was loud. I would look out my window and it would be right there. Coming through the freaking window. Wake me up every day at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then we bought the second house we bought in San Antonio was a foreclosure. It's the one we lived in. I think you into that house.
Yeah.
And that was in the flight path. But that was in the landing flight path.
Yeah.
So, it would come down, and you could literally wave to the freaking pilot and read everything on the side of the airplane,
Well, that's the way it is here, where I'm at now, and then in a place I used to be at, it was the same thing, but you could hear the engines, and at night, you could hear the engines cycling down, whoo, they would make a weird noise as they're dropping altitude, so I often hear that noise, and I have to remind myself that's what that is, because it sounds like a sound you don't hear it anywhere else. That's the only place. I don't know how to describe it.
Well, in New York, the house I owned in New York, we were in Orange County, and Stewart Air Force Base / Stewart International Airport in Newburgh, C-5s and C-10s, these gigantic, huge airplanes. So airplanes that are big enough to put another airplane in.
Yeah.
They would take off going west, and then they would bank
come around
north, and they would, as they were banking around, they would come to our house, right over our house.
Full throttle.
Yeah, and they don't sound like your traditional airplane. Their engines are just so damn big, they sound completely different than a traditional airplane. And the first time you hear it, you're like, what the hell? And yeah, and it was close enough that you could see United States Air Force right on the side. And that runway there in Newburgh supposedly is so long that it was one of the alternate landing spots for the space shuttle.
Really?
Yeah. And the Concorde actually did touch and goes there one day.
Wow.
I was actually driving past the end of the runway, and I saw this freaking airplane just shoot out of the sky, or shoot into the sky. I'm like, what the hell? Like, that was the Concorde. So yeah, wow. The Concorde has been doing, has worked there. And so it goes, Always around airplanes. I always wanted to be a pilot. But, in first grade, they're like, well, you wear eyeglasses. You can't be a pilot.
Right. Yeah. So this is that tropical storm that's coming up. It's going to hit New England, they think. See the cone?
Good.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that.
Well, that got me thinking. They're going to have a big storm, heavy winds. It might be a tropical storm. It might be hurricane category 1 when it gets there, when it hits in the Boston area there. So it started me thinking, what else blows in New England? Let me look that up. So what I did was...
So how many websites came up?
I got all sorts of pop-ups right now.
They call people from Massachusetts massholes, right?
No, that's pretty funny.
I got a well, he's from Rhode Island, but I got a lot of friends up in that area, and they definitely have masshole tendencies.
Well, I guess people from Toronto don't like people from Boston. I think it's a hockey thing. Because there's a guy, he has a page called Leafs Nation, Toronto thing, obviously. And he's listed the top 6 things that suck in New England besides the Bruins.
Nice.
He goes on about Tom Brady, and he does this big dissertation about Tom Brady. Obviously, this is 2 years old. Does a thing about New England clam chowder, also known as hot ocean milk with dead crustaceans in it.
Hot ocean milk.
Then he talks about Mark and Donnie Wahlberg. And how the fact that Mark Wahlberg replaced Shia LaBeouf in Transformers, and that's a disgrace. It should stain the Wahlberg name forever. Then he goes on to talk about baked beans. Then he goes on to talk about the accent. I don't know if I could do it. I may be able to do a little bit like a Pepperidge Farm remembers. One of those type
Park
things.
the car in the harbor.
Ah, there you go.
Park the car in the harbor. Yeah, I got a buddy who has a thick Boston accent. He's from Rhode Island, and he's a buddy of mine. But I look past the inability to speak properly.
Well, you know what? I'm looking at the clock here, and it's time for our normal weekly thing that we do here. We do a thing called Alien Update, and I'll tell you what that is in just a minute.
Buzz-looking alien! Where? Warning! Alien approaching! Warning! Biophysical experiments extremely dangerous to Earth people.
It's a pretty good robot. He's a little bit of an alien, too. But I think he's an alien robot. You could be an alien robot, right? Like, not all robots are domestic.
I computed the aliens. They are capable of sinister and dangerous acts.
You weird alien man!
All right, when we talk about aliens, in the Alien Update, obviously we're talking about Jeff Bezos, we're talking about Mark Zuckerberg, we're talking about Branson, we're talking about
Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk, he's the big one there. And these people are obviously aliens, all right? They're too smart, they've done too much, and they make too much money. They know something, they have this latest technology that they're bringing out. So these people are obviously from another planet. And I think there's different factions. Like I think Zuckerberg's a reptilian, and yet I think Musk is of a different race. Musk might be from that race that looks like Vikings. They're really Nordic looking with long blonde hair and stuff. And Anyway, there's a couple other different factions. There's the Greys and so forth, and each one of them, I think, are a different faction, and they're all competing, not directly but indirectly, for what we have on Earth, as far as maybe elements, gold. Maybe that's our job. Maybe we're just mining the gold for them to use. I don't know. I'm coming up with stuff off the cuff here. The reason why I bring this up, though, right now is Musk is in the news here. They had some sort of AI thing, like Tesla AI thing. It was on YouTube and everything all day. It was like a 3-hour thing. I wasn't watching that. I skimmed through it. But it got me looking at this. And on the Tesla site, if you go to tesla.com/AI, it brings up the artificial intelligence and autopilot. And they're recruiting people this way. They're trying to get the best people, and they're showing you if you got hardware, you got neural networks, autonomy algorithms, code foundations, evaluation infrastructure, and the Tesla bot. Now, this Tesla bot, I'm going to put a picture of this bot. It's called Tesla Bot. And this is going to take the place of people working. Because, according to Musk, we need a universal basic income, because working is going to be an option in the future because of the development of this AI technology.
Frightening, because he's been on the mark so far. So why would we doubt him on this one too, or at all?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, is this good or bad?
Yeah, a mixture. What's it? Where's that going to leave human beings? That's my question.
Well, you take a look at some younger people that are younger than us, and not to be that get off my lawn guy. And don't you steal that one either, because I'm still developing that one. You know who I'm talking to. But if we're the get off my lawn guy, I'm not trying to be that way, but there's kids that can't do simple things. They can't change a tire. They can't, do basic math computations even. And yet, I have to watch my pronouns around them, and you can't take them away from the phone.
Right, and they can't spell Buc-ees correctly.
Exactly. That's a good one right there.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, I'm looking forward. Now, here's my next question. Why is 90% of the body white and only 10% black? That's racist.
I don't know. Is like the bottom of the feet black too?
I don't know. I can't see. I just
I can't see the palms. It looks like it has a massive vagina. What's up with that picture?
Oh, here in the corner, it's an advertisement for camel towing. I see. Anyway, I think I want my bot to look a little different. At least have some facial hair on my body. At least pretend to give a damn.
Right. Maybe some shoes, at least.
But doesn't that look like that's plausible? Like you could see that happening, that thing right there, based on what we've seen Musk do so far. That if he's putting out a picture or something like that, that's probably close to what it is.
Yeah, well, it looks better than that pickup truck that he's trying to make.
Wonder if he's going to try to smash this one in the face like you did the windshield of that truck.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of scary,
I don't know. When is too much too much? What are we supposed to do? Stop developing this great technology that our country's, using? Or actually, they're funding you. They selected you to lead this, to make it look like private industry is doing these things. But we both know you're an alien and you're bringing this technology here, and we're going to pay you for it a shit ton of money.
Right.
And you're going to run these 4 or 5 companies. You're going to build cars. You're going to have battery stations. You're going to have AI. You're going to take us to other planets. Who else does this but a friggin' alien? Anyway, well, here we go again. Speak of Musk, that's Starlink. Those are Starlink satellites, okay?
Right.
SpaceX adding capabilities to Starlink internet satellites, plans to launch them with the Starship. So what they're saying is that they're developing the Gen 2 system, and these are going to go up in space as well, another series of satellites, and they're going to work in conjunction and boost the abilities of those first ones. Isn't that crazy? It's like an upgrade for your computer, but it's an upgrade to each one of those satellites that are floating around.
It's like a booster, like that extra modem you have in your house, so the signal reaches the other side of the house.
So they're saying SpaceX has launched 1,740 Starlink satellites to date with its first generation system, beginning launches in November 2019. Gen 2 is planned to have nearly 30,000 satellites in total.
Wow. Amazing.
I'm confident this is all based on the new monetary system, new cryptocurrency, that it has to do with the ability for them to have basically, we call something near this 5G, but it's something that's like 6G capabilities, yet everything's wireless. It's just like your phone, but you can have internet in the desert. You can have internet off the beaten path somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what you have anyway, almost, with your phone. As long as you get a network. You don't have to rip off somebody's Wi-Fi.
You can Venmo, people money in Africa.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? If you wanted to do that, you used to have to go stand in line at the Winn-Dixie for the Western Union.
Right? Yeah, that's a date of the past. Yeah, Venmo, and what's the other one? It's amazing. But it's actually good.
Cash App?
Yeah, Cash App. Like I heard a musician talking about it the other day, and he's like, yeah, you get there to the club and they're like, hey, I can write you a check for your performance tonight. And he's like, yeah, no, I have Venmo. Can you send the money directly there?
Yeah, right.
Cash App, send the money directly to me now. This way I know the check is good.
Yeah, so, before I take the stage.
Exactly. Yep.
Wow. I never thought of it like that. I have people, I do business, multiple different ways. I have multiple different avenues. And long story short, if I'm doing something with somebody and I'm making a connection and we're going to do business together, if I'm buying something or selling something or whatever, the number of people that want to do Cash App, and I'm like, well, I know enough about it to know it's supposedly secure. I haven't had a bad experience yet, but I'm dealing with a person who I haven't met, who I'm going to potentially meet. Why can't you just bring me cash?
Right.
I mean, we're going to meet anyway.
It's also a generational thing. You and me and people of our generation, it's cash is king. And like when we were flipping houses in San Antonio, I had a younger guy, and he was doing a lot of painting for me, doing some drywall, excuse me, some drywall and a lot of painting. And he wanted cash. He didn't want a check. And like on my end, I have to account for that money, so I need to write a check. But he wanted Venmo, and I guess it was a way that my accountant accounted for it. Through the Venmo app.
Was he a citizen, Mike? Did you hire somebody that wasn't a citizen?
No, actually, this guy was legit.
Okay. Just checking.
Now, the plumber and the electrician and my other drywall guy, let's just say the statute of limitations has not run out yet. We're gonna keep quiet on that one.
I have two experiences with that. I think I told you one time the story about my brother. Before he bought his first house, he was renting a house and it was raining real bad, and the ceiling got all messed up. And the landlord came over there to check out the ceiling because my brother called him and said, "Hey man, the whole ceiling's like wet, the roof's leaking or something." And the landlord came in and tapped the roof with a hammer, and the whole roof fell in on my brother's bed. So
on his bed?
The next day, there was like 50, 60 guys of a certain persuasion on the roof at one time. Bam, 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 putting a new roof in at 7 in the morning. And you could hear the music playing. You could hear,
You couldn't understand it, but you could hear it.
Exactly. So my brother and I, for some reason, we went out and had tacos that night. I don't know why, but we were in the mood for tacos.
The power of persuasion.
Yes. And then another time I had some work being done in my house, and the same thing. The guy brought like 15 people in, and then my son's iPod went missing.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, and of course we don't know nothing about that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, right.
Dude, it was a time, God, where I was working at a flip house by myself, and I had these French doors in the back, obviously double doors, and I had one open, and I had my DeWalt drill right by the door, or was it a circular saw, something right by the edge of the door, and you really couldn't see it from the street, but from the street you could see that the door was open.
Mm-hmm.
And I come walking in that room, and there's freaking Paco with his hand, reaching in the door on my freaking saw.
Now, how did you know his name was Paco?
Because he told me his name was Paco. I read it in a book. Donde está casa de Paco? So yeah, and believe me, I physically grabbed the guy, but I was pissed. That house was broken into 5 times, and we had every cabinet stolen out of the kitchen at one point.
Wow.
And
Did they take the copper wire out of the walls?
No, thank God. And thank God I had a cage on the AC, because they tried to get that too.
Wow.
Dude, yeah, they came at like 2, 3 in the morning. And like, I'd have neighbors like, yeah, I saw a truck here, blah, 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 when you weren't here, blah, 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 but I thought he was blah, 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 blah. I'm like, really? You thought somebody was dropping off stuff or picking stuff up?
At 2 in the morning?
Yeah, at 2 in the morning.
With 15 dudes?
Yeah. And then, besides being broken into 5 times, we had 40 tractor-trailer tires dumped in the backyard once.
At one time?
At one time. 40 tractor-trailer tires.
That's somebody that doesn't want to pay to take that crap to the dump or whatever.
Exactly, yeah. Mike's flip house was closer than the dump.
Wow.
And cheaper. Yeah. So
wow.
It cost me $200, $250 to have them removed.
Wow.
And the guy who removed them probably threw them in someone else's backyard.
Maybe it's a racket he's playing up and down the block.
Dude, believe me, that crossed my mind.
Show up out of the blue. Hey, I see you got a bunch of tires in your yard. I'll remove them for you. He's just moving tires day and night, man. Same tires.
We had a thunderstorm come through, and I had huge branches and parts of trees down in the backyard. There's an old church across the street, and they had issues with this storm. And I called the city up trying to get some sympathy, that they would come by and pick it up for me. And they're like, oh, we had no report of a storm.
Oh, my God.
Really? You had no report of a storm. The freaking neighborhood is in shambles. What do you mean? So, yeah, luckily that cost me like $50 to have all that removed.
Jeez.
Unreal.
Hey, it looks like Miss Peel is in the thing there. All right, good. All right, we're getting there. We just need a couple more people in the chat, man.
I know her. She says, I can't hear you guys. Well, that's not good.
No, that's not good at all, because I got...
Oh, she said good now, so okay, we're good now.
Oh, all right. Hey, remember last show, or the show before, we talked about those murder hornets are back, those killer bees again?
Washington?
Yeah. And we brought up the idea of making them little drones, or making drones that look like hornet. They put a tracker on one of the hornets to lead it to the nest of where it's located.
Smart thing.
In Washington. Yeah. It's about a quarter mile from the civilian sighting that we talked about on August 11th. The nest was located at the base of a tree in a rural area east of Blaine, Washington. A WSDA, this is according to what.com-news.com. Whatcom-news.com. All right, how about that? A team of Oregon State Department of Agriculture and USDA's Animal Plant Health Inspection Service staff searched the area beginning at 7:30 a.m. and they spotted the nest at 9:15 a.m. Yada 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 yada. Okay, so they know where it's at.
Lunch,
now what?
They backed up a gasoline truck with 5,000 gallons of gasoline, let it loose, and lit the whole neighborhood on fire.
Nice.
Please tell me that's what the answer was.
No, they just sort of leave off with that's the end of the story. They're saying that a small group of these giant hornets can kill an entire honeybee hive in a matter of hours.
Wow.
So that's just, we have a hard enough time with bees and no bees and stuff. I'm thinking about going into beekeeping. I really am.
It's from what I understand, it's not as easy as you think. You get a queen bee, you put it in the thing, and they all come, and they generate money and honey and all that stuff for you. Brenda's brother has the apple orchard in central Texas, and tried his hand at beekeeping and failed miserably. I think he started with like 3 hives, and like right off the bat, one like flew away.
Wow.
And yeah, so it's not as easy as we think it is, or possibly he just sucked at it. Maybe I don't know.
Well, I just got the text here. Our guy's pulling up. The limo driver just texted me. Mikestradamus should be coming to the door, so I'm going to go grab the door real quick, all right?
Awesome, cool.
Oh, and of course I'm going to cue up his music because he gets all testy if I don't have his music going.
All right.
Greetings, young Michael. Greetings.
Greetings, My Excellency, Your Excellency, Our Excellency. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest with us tonight. A famous safari guide, the all-knowing, all-seeing, omniscient, and former electronic salesman from the Crazy Eddie at 4th and Lexington. I give you the great Mikestradamus.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you, studio audience, which I cannot hear. Thank you.
Yes. Welcome, Mikestradamus. We've been waiting to hear your infinite wisdom. I have your envelopes.
Ah, very good. Very good.
Right here. They have been hermetically sealed and stored in a mayonnaise jar at Amway Center since noon today.
Nice.
No one knows the contents of these envelopes, but you, in your infinite wisdom, without ever seeing the contents, you and you alone know the answers to these envelopes. I present to you your first envelope.
Ah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh, that one came through real nice and easy there. You must have been working that hole earlier there.
Yeah,
all right.
Little lube.
So I am going to give you the answer to the question. The question is in the envelope. I will give you the answer, and then I will tear open the envelope and show you the question to validate the answer I gave.
Hermetically sealed.
Hermetically sealed.
Envelope.
Mayonnaise.
Hermetically sealed.
Mayonnaise.
Since noon today.
A pickpocketing, peeping Tom.
A pickpocketing, peeping Tom.
Yes, yes, yes. I will open up the envelope here. Name someone that snatches your watch and watches your snatch.
Watches your snatch and snatches your watch.
Yes, yes, yes. And
right.
And let me add, may your proctologist be a midget.
Your next envelope.
Ah, envelope number 2.
Your
Yes,
excellency.
yes, yes. Oh. Wow, that one kind of hurt on the side a little bit.
Sorry about that.
The number 1, the word forest, and the number 1.
1, forest, and 1.
Yes. Yes, yes. What is Forrest Gump's password? Nice, nice, nice. And
1, forest, 1.
And Mike, may you drink 45 Dr. Peppers while waiting in line for a Disney ride. Nice. Little cross promotion. Nice.
I have your last envelope right here.
Nice. I like the blue color on that one. That's good. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. A dictator. A dictator.
A dictator. Dictator.
Ah, it's a dad joke question. What do you get when you cross a dick with a potato?
A dictator.
You know, Mike, may you only use mayonnaise on your french fries from here out.
Ew.
And with that,
Ew.
I bid you adieu. Well, maybe you should hire John Morgan before he does. I mean, I ain't got control over this guy. Look, I'm lucky that my chair isn't all jacked up and the microphone's not out of place. Yes. Oh, yeah, by the way, pick up a both mics sticker. Just ask for it. Any place we're at, you can see us, find us, send us a note. Just, hey, I want a sticker. And then we'll get you a sticker.
We'll find a way to get it to you.
How about that? So, Mikestradamus kind of smells like that weird Indian smell you smell sometimes when you go into certain stores, you know what I mean? Like the incense are burning and stuff.
Curry?
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is.
Dude, 30 years ago, I used to deliver the New York Times. And we went to a depot. We had to, put all the newspapers in bags and then put them in the car, and we would go off and deliver newspapers. It was a part-time job. It took me 2 hours a day. I made $250 a week.
Okay.
We had a guy there of the Indian persuasion, IT, not TP. And
wait a second. What was that?
He was Indian.
Yes.
IT,
yes.
not TP.
Nice. Because and this is racist as hell, but I've always heard either push button or pull start.
Pull start.
Are you pulling a towel?
Okay.
I know, that's friggin' racist.
Well, IT is for Indian or TP for Indian.
Okay, I get it now. All right. I like yours better. Yours is less abrasive. Mine's very abrasive.
Right. Yes.
All right.
So it was IT, not TP.
Okay.
And he just stunk, and it wasn't like BO, and I'm like, couldn't figure it out. And then like working in the supermarket, there was this cleaning product called Simply Green. It was an organic cleaner.
Yeah.
And it smelled just like this guy.
Really?
And I'm like, does this guy like takes the 409 Simply Green and organic cleaner and wash with it?
Maybe he's washing with those little green Christmas tree air freshener things.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. And then it comes out that it's curry. This cleaner smells like curry, and this poor guy, I guess, they eat a lot of curry, and it smelled...
Who's they?
Those people, buddy. Who else?
Those people. Who you calling those people?
Yeah, and how garlic can come through in your pores, curry can come through your pores just as bad, and this poor gentleman stunk like freaking curry. So, it was bad. But all right, where were we?
Britney Spears.
Uh-oh. Do you see the picture of her?
She's what picture is that?
Oh yeah, she has a picture online that she is like trying to push her independence or something, and I forget exactly what it was. I had it. I gotta find it. But yeah, I was impressed. This girl, she's got to be in her 40s now.
I guess.
Yeah. I guess I might have deleted it
well,
on my phone.
This is according to CBSNews.com. Britney Spears is under investigation after an employee working at her home accused the pop star of striking her during a dispute earlier in the week. This, according to Ventura County Sheriff's Office, said on Thursday. An attorney for Spears has denied the allegation. The employee filed the report Monday around 10 a.m. local time, but did not disclose what kicked off the alleged dispute. A sheriff spokesperson told CBS News. The employee was not injured, they said, and no arrests have been made. The Ventura County Sheriff's Office is investigating the alleged incident and will forward all of its findings to the county's district attorney to determine if misdemeanor battery charges are necessary. Anyway.
Wow. Okay. So
she's 39.
39. So one of her employees pissed her off, and she took a swipe at him. Maybe she threw a taco at him or something.
Does this validate the unstableness that they were trying to demonstrate, which is why she needed to be still under that conservatorship?
Really? Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to reach. I mean, it's within reach here, no? I mean,
yeah, that does make sense.
You can't beat the slaves.
But here, can I get this picture to you? There we go.
Wow.
So this is the picture she put online this past week, and I screenshotted it real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, before before the internet takes it down. And supposedly this is a real picture. My wife said it is. So so I guess my wife.
So you did the smart thing. You made the preemptive strike with the wife. You said, "Honey, look at this," and you showed it to her, right? Yeah, that's smart.
And well, I think my wife brought it up in a news article. She'll give me current event stuff here and there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, does this have anything to do with this picture? And I showed her the picture. She goes, yeah, I think it does.
Oh, all right.
And I was looking at the shadowing and stuff and trying to see if it was photoshopped, because half the freaking pictures of celebrities in compromised situations are photoshopped anyway. So that's why I was wondering. And my wife goes, no, I think that's real, because that's what we were talking about.
Nice.
And,
this is our Milky Way. This area, the bigger part of the picture, the L shape of the picture is the Milky Way. If you're watching us on Twitch TV or YouTube or Facebook, however you're watching, thank you for watching, by the way. We are on everywhere. But they're saying that this part of the Milky Way has what they're calling a broken arm. Now, I've never heard of this. Yeah, a spiral break. A spiral arm break in the Milky Way galaxy is what they're calling this. This is according to earthsky.org.
Okay.
They're saying that
the Milky Way kind of has that twisted look to it, and I guess those, almost like a backwards hurricane. It has those little arms that stick out, that swirl, that look like it's swirling. I'm guessing that's what they're talking about as far as an arm, and one of them is broken.
Well, if you look at the picture there on the screen, see the little tiny square, and there's like a line in the middle of it? They're calling that the arm. They're saying stars and nebula jet out like a splinter from a piece of wood on the Sagittarius arm of the Milky Way. The inset gives you the better idea of what that spiral arm looks like. So that's the blown up picture on the top right corner of the spiral arm. I don't know how they tell this. I think they look at lighting and they compare different light. And that's how they can tell if there's an image or an object. Wouldn't that be something that's some giant alien thing?
Yeah, obviously. Well, that's what they got the Hubble telescope for. Have you ever seen the Milky Way with your naked eye?
Just the ones I get at the 7-Eleven.
It's that quick stop?
Yes.
Yeah, me neither. And people say that you can't really see it, but you can kind of sense that something's there when you look at the sky in that area. And I've seen people actually take pictures of it, but it's not a traditional picture. You have to kind of use a time lapse a little bit with your aperture and shutter speed.
So they're saying this has to do with pitch. The arms of a spiral galaxy are measured in something called pitch. If a spiral is so tightly wound that it forms a circle, the pitch angle is 0 degrees. As the spiral arm opens up, the number denoting the degree of the pitch angle goes up. They go on to say, a key property of spiral arms is how tightly they're wound, yada yada. Most models of the Milky Way suggest that the Sagittarius arm forms a spiral that has a pitch angle of about 12 degrees. But the structure we examined really stands out at an angle of nearly 60 degrees. Why would they call that a structure?
I have no idea, bro.
See, I'm starting to put this all together here. They're telling you stuff. You have to look between the lines.
Yeah. Well, it's just science talk, maybe the formation of the stars as it is a structure, or the arm is a structure.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, they say
that's just what they call it.
No need to worry, though. They say it's 4,000 to 7,000 light years from Earth.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Well, no, not really, because if Einstein was right, that means the universe does bend, and you could find wormholes or ways to get through time as well as space. So maybe they can travel it in an instant. Maybe they know the shortcut. They know the back route through the woods.
Well, as long as 7-Eleven has Milky Ways, we should be all right.
That's right. That's right. Hey, you're a big cruise guy. You've been on how many cruises?
28.
All right. You know that boat,
Been
don't
on that
you?
one.
All right.
I was on that in March of 2011.
This is according to thepointsguy.com. New York is about to become home to one of the largest cruise ships. They're going to base this ship out of New York, the Oasis of the Seas.
Yes. And actually, it's going to be in Bayonne. Bayonne is in New Jersey, right across the Hudson River from the World Trade Center area. Developed, probably about 6-7 years ago, and quite a lot of different Royal Caribbean ships have gone out of there. But this particular ship, dude, if you walk on this ship, you swear you're in a shopping mall.
Wow.
It is that you don't even know you're on a boat. It's unbelievable how big these ships are. And there's actually 5 of those now. There's that one's the Oasis, Allure, Symphony, Harmony, and now the Wonder. So they're gigantic, dude. They're like, this thing cannot go through the Panama Canal. That's how big it is. It's like twice as wide as a regular ship.
They're saying the first Oasis of the Seas sailing scheduled for Sunday. That Sunday coming up here, the 22nd, out of New York City area. They say New York City area. Will be non-revenue test cruise designed to show the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, that the ship is ready to resume operations. Translation, they bribed the CDC with a free cruise out of New York. That's what happened.
Right. Well, maybe they're getting special permission, because these test cruises are typically 2 days, and you go out, you spend the day at sea, and you come back 2 days later. But when you do a cruise out of the United States, you have to visit a foreign port before you come back.
Really?
So where's the foreign port that this is going to go to? Is it going to be
Bermuda? I would think.
Which is down, but it takes more than a day to get there.
Yeah.
And it's down by North Carolina. Or is it going to go to like Halifax or Nova Scotia and come back?
Well, there you go. That would be a lot closer.
I think. So I don't know. You know what? I'll probably know this weekend, because I'm sure I know somebody who's going to be on that test cruise. I will report back. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, here's a story. I think that's the same ship, actually. And this is just at a different view, a different angle.
Yeah, it's the same class ship.
There was what they're calling a royal mess from Royal Caribbean. Apparently, a ship out of Galveston. Did you take a ship out of Galveston ever?
Yeah. In 2018, we took Enchantment of the Seas out of Galveston. So this particular ship is actually not the ship that they're talking about. The ship they're talking about, smaller than this one, is called Liberty of the Seas.
Well, this is according to click2houston.com. Royal mess for some Galveston Royal Caribbean customers. No cruise, no luggage, no callback.
Yeah.
They say that the Utah couple planned to fly to Houston and hop on the Royal Caribbean Independence of the Seas ship they prepared for months.
Okay.
My parents have never taken a vacation like this, yada, 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 yada. On Friday, 2 days before departure, Royal Caribbean emailed passengers informing everyone that those fully vaccinated would be required to show proof of a negative COVID test upon boarding. Antigen and PCR tests were accepted. This particular couple got both tests that Friday night. On Sunday, there were no PCR tests available yet, so they did some sort of self-administered antigen test that they were able to provide the results for. There were about 20 to 30 people from the ship who went with them to an urgent care nearby to get a test. It was very crowded. They arrived at the dock by 4:30, an hour before departure, but they were told it was too late. They would not be able to board the ship, and they would not get their luggage back.
Yep. Maritime law says it's at 90 minutes before departure, they close the doors. So they were off by
so their
30
luggage
minutes.
went on a cruise, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So now they're from Utah. They're in Galveston with no luggage or nothing because it's on the ship that they're supposed to be on.
Yeah, and
Crazy.
Galveston's okay if you like 120% humidity, but it's nowhere near the airport. So it's a freaking trial and tribulation just to get the hour to the airport, or depending on which airport you're doing in Houston. So they were definitely stranded. Definitely not good.
Hey, have you ever had
no
an
clothes.
incident even close to that?
No, I've been lucky as can be. I've never had an issue. My ex-wife and I went on a cruise, and we got to the port, and it was a Royal Caribbean ship, and we got to the port, and she shows her birth certificate, and it's like that pretty one the hospital gives you. It's that's suitable for framing, and not the government issued one.
Wow.
And I didn't know because that was probably my fourth or fifth, and I think I had a passport, so I was good to go. And we're like, oh crap, what do we do? And luckily, the girl behind the counter goes to my ex-wife. She goes, "Were you born in Florida?" And she goes, "Yeah, I was born in Miami." And she's like, "Well, go to the county clerk in Brevard County and get a copy of your birth certificate."
Wow.
We ran there, came back, and boom, on the boat we were.
Nice. All right. So you were there before the 90 minutes then, obviously.
Yeah. No, they start boarding at 11, so I'm always there way before 11.
How pissed would you be? I mean, if that happened.
I don't know. That hurt. I don't know. I'd probably be really pissed.
But you know what? In all fairness, you probably wouldn't be in that situation either. I mean, this whole thing with the COVID and the shots and all this stuff, this has really affected travel a lot. So
yeah,
it's a shame, but it is what it is.
It's what we have to deal with in October. We're going on a cruise out of Port Canaveral. It's a 3-day cruise for Halloween. And we thought we booked this a year and a half ago. We thought we'd be good. There's a group of us of like 300 people going. And I figured the boys would have a great time with Halloween. Brenda's mom's coming in from out of town. My sister's going. My daughter's coming from St. Louis. And this past week they pulled this antigen test thing. So, she's getting here on the 25th, and we're leaving on the 28th of October. So we have to all round up and go get these tests taken care of.
Wow.
So, and if it wasn't for the fact that my daughter and my mother-in-law were coming in from out of town, I probably would cancel.
Wow.
Just because I don't want to deal with the hassle.
Right.
The boys are 3 and under, so I think my 3-year-old has to take a test, but my 1-year-old doesn't. So yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Wow.
I've had 4 cruises canceled because of this whole debacle.
Well, we got about 90 seconds left here. Things flew by today, so I just want to give a quick shout. You got anybody you want to give a shout out to, Mike?
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
No.
Want to make sure I shout out to Gino Losi. If you're looking to fish, call Gino Losi. Go, just find Gino Losi. Just Google him. Look on YouTube. Guy pulled in a 10-pound plus bass this week. Wow. 10.7 pounds. Wow. It's as big as his body. Also, go check out the Melon Patch Theater in Leesburg. They have new productions all the time. Dustin Levine's doing great work over there. And one of these days, one of these shows will return the, what did we call those? Mikeisms. We gotta throw the Mikeisms out again every once in a while. Yeah.
I'm missing down those. Right here.
Well, it's too late now. Duh.
Okay.
No. Hey, it was a good show. I appreciate everybody putting up with my or tolerating me at the beginning of the show. But if you missed the beginning and you just caught the end, shame on you. Go rewind it and listen.
Exactly. Yeah. Thief.
All right. We'll see you next time, folks.
Ciao.
Oh, if you're on Twitch, if you're watching on Twitch, we're going to be live in just a few minutes again. Another show. Hang in there.